everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Amanda Ostrander. I am a teacher-turned-homeschool mom, and this is Raising A to Z, a place where we talk about all things homeschooling. And today I'm going to talk about why we homeschool all year round. We are year-round homeschoolers. To people who are coming from the public school system, that sounds awful. For so many of you guys, I hear it all the time that just sounds like torture, and those poor kids, how they don't get a summer, they don't get a childhood because they're homeschooling all year round. And first off, that's not the case. Let's be real, that's not the case. My kids have plenty of childhood, and there are some great benefits to homeschooling year round. Let's talk about it, because I know a lot of parents who homeschool year round, and there are definitely some incredible benefits to it. So first off, what is year round homeschooling? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. We homeschool all year round. But that doesn't mean there aren't breaks. So because we homeschool all year round, we take breaks at different times in the year. So for example, we often take a really big chunk of time off at Christmas. I don't mean a week or two. I mean, sometimes we take the whole month off. We can definitely take a week in January or, a couple weeks in the spring when the weather's nice. We have a lot more flexibility about when we take our breaks. And so our kids do end up getting time off throughout the year. It's just not done in one big, huge summer break chunk. Public schools, kids typically have about 12 weeks, give or take, of breaks throughout the year. So they get 2 weeks at Christmas, they get a week at spring break, and then they get about 9 weeks for summer break. So we're about 12 weeks. People who homeschool year round probably take about as many breaks. It's just not done in this big summer chunk. So some people will take an entire month of December off and just enjoy the holidays. Some people will take 2 weeks off in January and go travel somewhere warm. Some people will take a couple weeks, here or there throughout the spring. I know some people who do kind of a Sabbath schedule. So every 6 weeks, they do 6 weeks of school and they take a week off. 6 weeks of school, they take a week off. So the kids do get breaks. They do get breaks. It's just not in this big, huge block. And that's one of the reasons people actually love homeschooling year round, is because we don't have this big block of time off. It's much shorter bouts, and there are some great benefits to having smaller bouts of time off. A couple of reasons why we like to homeschool year round. Number one, we take the breaks when we need them. So when we have a really busy Christmas schedule, we take a couple extra weeks off because my kids are doing Christmas choirs and presentations and performances and all these things. We can take extra time. We want to take a holiday in January, we take the time. If we have a bout of sickness that goes through our house in February, I don't worry about having to catch up on that work come the end of the year, come June, trying to get it done. We just kind of continue until it's done. It just means that we're able to take the time that we need to take and when we want to take it, rather than it just be arbitrarily dictated to us when these times are off. It also allows us to do a 4-day school week rather than a 5-day school week. So we have a little bit, we do less days, but we kind of spread it out throughout the whole year, and we end up completing just as much as everybody else, but it's just done on a more gentle, more relaxed schedule, and we prefer it. One of the biggest benefits of not taking the summer off is we don't get a summer slide. Some studies have shown that kids who take the summer off can lose up to 2 to 3, even sometimes 4 months worth of learning come September that has to be retaught. We don't have to worry about that because our kids are constantly learning. They're not taking these huge breaks and not practicing any of these skills. So they don't have that relearning period that they have to do. It just kind of continues on. And we take a week off. They're not going to forget how to read in a week, or what sounds letters make, or how to do addition in a week. So we just kind of continue on. And we don't get those huge summer slides that is much, much more common in the public school system when they have these big breaks. And it's actually one of the biggest reasons why some school districts are pushing for year-round schooling, is because it does negate these summer slide and these losses. So there's that. That's a huge one. And then also for us as homeschoolers, because we kind of control our schedule, one of the biggest things for us, we do find it makes it easier to transition into September, because we're not going from, oh, you played all day, every day and did like no responsibilities, to, oh, but you still have to do those responsibilities and do your schoolwork now. And that's really a huge benefit when you're homeschooling, because public school kids have that clear distinction of, well, we play at home and we go to school at school, right? Like they have that. Kids who are homeschooled don't have the distinction. So it does make it a little bit easier for our homeschoolers to transition and do a heavier fall load, for example, when they've already been doing stuff all year round. People who hear that we homeschool our kids year round, especially those from the public school system, freak out because they think that schooling takes 6 hours, which it doesn't. And so they imagine my kids sitting at the table for, from 9 till 3 all summer long doing schooling. That's not true. That's not happening at all. First off, we know that it's not happening. My kids, typically a full homeschool day in the regular school year for them is less than 2 hours. And the nice thing about homeschooling year round is you can decide what your summer schedule is going to look like. And so for our summer schedule, we actually make it lighter so they have less to do, but they're still doing a little bit into maintaining what skills they've been working on. So for us, we don't do a unit study over the summer. We just focus on spelling, phonics, grammar, language arts type stuff, and math. That's it. That's our only focus for the summer. There's no science, there's no social studies. We save those for September through June. But over the summer, we have a lot more flexibility. And so we implement a little bit of schooling. Like I said, because they're doing less, oftentimes it takes them less than an hour to do their work. Then they do some chores and then they're free for the whole day. And I think it's funny that people get worked up that we give our kids schoolwork over the summer, because the number of parents I hear complaining that they don't know how to fill their kids' days, or their kids are just playing video games all summer and they don't know how to get them to do anything else. I don't know. My kids are doing tons of learning and activities. They do an hour of school, but apparently that's the problem. So a lot of people, when they hear that we homeschool all year round, they feel really bad for our kids that they don't get summers off. And B, they're thinking my kids are sitting at the table doing schoolwork from 9 till 3 every day. That's not the case. Number one, homeschooling takes a lot less time, which I've talked about many, many times on this channel. I'll put a link here to a video explaining that. But homeschooling takes a lot less time. On a full day, my kids' homeschooling day takes about 2 hours, tops. That's if we get on some weird tangents, or if they're just we're being slow today. Okay, so on a full day, it's 2 hours. Over the summer, we adjust our schedules to accommodate the fact that it is summer. We live in Canada, so summer is important because it's such a short season, and we want to take advantage of that. So we do adjust our schedules because we're homeschoolers and we can do that. So while my kids do school over the summer, their schooling usually takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. 50, maybe 60 minutes if we include all the things that my kids want to do. So we often do some reading, and we usually pick books that we just want to read that are not academic books. They're just things that we want to read. They're oh, we really want to read this book? Amazing. That's what we're going to read over the summer. Okay. They still want to play their word games because I've gotten them into word game fun, and we still play word games all the time. And so they're still going to want to do that. And that takes us about 15 minutes. We'll probably read for 15 minutes, and then they'll do 30 minutes ish of language and math, maybe 35, 40. So we're at an hour total of focused academic time. And then they do some chores because kids need to learn responsibility, and then they're off. And that's it. We don't do a unit study over the summer because my kids are doing all kinds of things. They are building things. We sell things that are at the end of our driveway with a little farm stand. They're doing all kinds of activities. They're playing, they're painting. When they go to camp, they don't do school when they go to camp. That would be cruel and unusual. No, but when my kids go to theater camp for 2 weeks, that's just them having fun. And yes, they're practicing theater skills and learning new things, and they're getting to experience new things, and that's enough. I don't need them to do math on top of that. If we're going to take a day trip to the zoo or we're going to go camping for a couple days, I don't bring the workbooks. Like, we have the flexibility to make the summer what we want it to be. Just on the days when we're sitting at home and we're like, hey, we're just going to hang out in the backyard and putter around the garden and, you know, maybe go swimming in our pool. Those are the days where our kids can do 1 hour of schoolwork, right? They can do, not only can they do it, it's good for them. And I always think it's funny that the parents who give me the hardest time about year-round homeschooling, when they hear that we year-round homeschool, are often the parents who complain that they're like stressed about having to fill their kids' days and stressed about the kids like just playing video games all summer. I don't know. My kids' days are filled, they fill them themselves, but like giving them an hour of some activities and structured learning a day gives them something to do and something to like work towards and some project progress and some responsibility. And I think that is fine because that's a really realistic expectation for them to have at their age. And just in life in general, like most adults don't get the summer off. You still work in the summer when it's nice. Yeah, it sucks, but like you still do it unless you're a teacher. Everyone does it. So like having them do a little bit of work and learning to find some like work-life balance of like, yeah, we can do a little bit of work and we can play a little bit every day is a great thing. Actually, that's one of my mom's like favorite sayings is every day we work and play. And I think that applies to life, but also to homeschooling. So that's why we homeschool year round. If you're thinking of homeschooling year round and you're like on the fence, try it out. Really, what do you have to lose? And like I said, you get to make it what you want it to be. So maybe you pick a really fun book. Maybe you just drop everything and just do a unit study. You get to create it and make your homeschooling what you want to be. And if it's a year-round homeschool, then it's a year-round homeschool. And if that works for you, amazing. If you want to take the summer off, by all means do it. But this is just what works for us and we love it. So I will be officially on holidays for the entire month of July. There will be no new videos for the entire month of July, but I will be back in August with some incredible new content, all the stuff you guys love. I will be planning a month. I will be going school supplies shopping. I will be showing you all kinds of new things, and I'm so excited for that. Also, I'm going to be taking the entire month of July to work on some new stuff for True North History. Some incredible new units are coming in August and I believe end of September. So very excited. I'm going to enjoy my vlogging break, but I'm looking forward to being back to talk with all of you guys in just a few weeks. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you know when I'm back. And consider following us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then you can actually see what we're doing as we homeschool year round over there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Bye.